Have you ever wondered how one man could shape the world in just a few short years? This man is none other than John F. Kennedy. A beacon of hope, a symbol of youth, and a charismatic leader who captivated the hearts of millions, Kennedy's legacy is as fascinating as it is enigmatic. The 35th President of the United States, Kennedy's time in office was brief, yet it was filled with both triumph and tragedy. His presidency, a mere 1,000 days, was a whirlwind of events that left an indelible mark on the world. From the Cuban Missile Crisis to the initiation of the Apollo moon landing program, Kennedy steered the ship of state through turbulent waters with a deft hand and a steady gaze. Yet, his legacy is not without controversy. Many aspects of his presidency, from his handling of the civil rights movement to his foreign policy decisions, have been the subject of intense debate. And then, of course, there's the mystery surrounding his assassination, a tragic event that shocked the world and continues to fuel conspiracy theories to this day. But let's not forget about Kennedy's undeniable charm and charisma. There's a reason why he was known as the Prince of Camelot. With his dashing good looks and razor-sharp wit, Kennedy could light up a room just by walking into it. He had a knack for making people feel like they were the most important person in the world, a talent that served him well in both politics and personal relationships. And then there's the Kennedy family, a fascinating cast of characters in their own right. From his glamorous wife, Jackie, to his ambitious brothers, Robert and Ted, the Kennedys were the closest thing America had to a royal family. So whether you admire him for his vision and leadership, criticize him for his shortcomings, or are simply intrigued by the mystery surrounding his life and death, there's no denying that John F. Kennedy left an indelible mark on the world. As we delve into JFK's life, let's start at the beginning. Born in 1917, JFK was not just any child, but a child destined for greatness. The second of 9 children, young Jack, as he was affectionately known, was born into the illustrious Kennedy clan. His father, Joseph Kennedy Sr., was a prominent businessman and politician, while his mother, Rose Fitzgerald Kennedy, hailed from political royalty. It's fair to say that politics was in his blood from day one. Growing up, Jack was surrounded by a brood of competitive siblings, including his elder brother Joe Jr., who was often considered the family's golden boy. Now imagine the sibling rivalry there, folks. It was like a never-ending game of Monopoly. But instead of properties, they were vying for political clout. Despite being frequently overshadowed by Joe Jr., Jack was never one to back down from a challenge. His childhood was peppered with bouts of illnesses, but he managed to turn his sickbed into a reading haven, developing a love for history and culture. That's one way to make the best of a bad situation, isn't it? As a student, Jack attended exclusive private schools, including the prestigious Choate School and later Harvard University. His academic journey was far from smooth sailing, though. He was more of the work-smart, not hard type, often preferring socializing and sports over hitting the books. But when it came to his senior thesis, he buckled down and produced a work so impressive that it was published as a book. Talk about a last-minute plot twist. Throughout his early life, Jack's charismatic personality and natural leadership shone through. Whether it was organizing pranks at school, leading his PT boat crew during World War II, or charming the ladies with his wit and good looks, Jack had a knack for standing out from the crowd. As JFK grew, so did his ambitions, leading him onto the path of public service. And as we all know, this path would eventually lead him to the highest office in the land, forever etching his name in the annals of history. Young, energetic and charismatic JFK was a perfect fit for the political arena. A fresh-faced Kennedy first dipped his toe into the political pool in 1946, running for the U.S. House of Representatives in Massachusetts' 11th Congressional District. With his charm, eloquence, and a family name that held weight in Boston, JFK was victorious, serving 3 terms and setting the stage for his political ascent. In 1952, Kennedy decided to climb up the political ladder, aiming for a seat in the U.S. Senate. It was a challenging contest given his opponent was the incumbent Senator Henry Cabot Lodge Jr., but Kennedy, with his knack for connecting with the common man and his relentless campaigning, managed to secure a victory, further cementing his political prowess. The journey to the presidency wasn't exactly a walk in the park. The year was 1960 and JFK, a Roman Catholic, was vying for the Democratic nomination. His religion was a contentious issue, with many wondering if a Catholic could impartially lead a predominantly Protestant nation. But Kennedy, ever the master of communication, addressed the issue head-on in a speech, assuring the public that his religion would not dictate his governance. The presidential race against Richard Nixon was a spectacle to behold. The first ever televised debates were held, and JFK's charisma shone through the black and white screens. Nixon, though experienced, couldn't quite match Kennedy's charm and presence. The debates were a turning point in the campaign, helping JFK secure the presidency by a narrow margin. His political journey was marked by challenges, but Kennedy's unique approach to tackling them was a testament to his character. He had an uncanny ability to connect with people, to inspire them, and to rally them behind him. He was a master of communication, using it to his advantage in his campaigns and his presidency. With his charismatic personality and relentless drive, JFK was soon to become the 35th President of the United States. From congressman to senator and finally to the highest office in the land, Kennedy's political journey was nothing short of fascinating, a testament to his resilience and his unwavering commitment to public service. JFK's presidency was a time of hope, excitement, and ultimately tragedy. As the youngest man ever elected to the office, John F. Kennedy brought a breath of fresh air to the White House. His charismatic leadership and forward-thinking policies were a beacon of optimism for a nation on the brink of change. Kennedy's presidency was defined by his commitment to progress. His vision for a new frontier sought to advance civil rights, education, and scientific exploration. He famously spurred the nation towards the moon, saying, "We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard." And let's face it, that's a real power move. Yet Kennedy's presidency wasn't without its share of serious challenges. The Cuban Missile Crisis, for instance, brought the world to the edge of nuclear war. But through strategic negotiation and a cool head, Kennedy managed to defuse the situation, saving the world from potential catastrophe. Talk about pressure, right? I mean, most of us break a sweat when deciding what to have for dinner. But just as the nation was beginning to embrace his vision, tragedy struck. On November 22nd, 1963, JFK was assassinated in Dallas, Texas, an event that shook the world to its core. Conspiracy theories abound, but the official report points to Lee Harvey Oswald as the lone gunman. It was a shocking end to a presidency that had been marked by so much promise. In the wake of his death, the nation mourned, but also found strength in his words and ideals. His vision of progress and unity continued to inspire generations of Americans. Despite the abrupt end to his presidency, his influence remains imprinted on the fabric of the nation. JFK's untimely death shocked the world, but his legacy lived on. His presidency, though cut short, continues to symbolize a time of progress, optimism, and the enduring spirit of the American dream. Despite his short time in office, JFK left an indelible mark on the world. Now let's delve into the legacy of this remarkable man. John F. Kennedy was more than just a president. He was a symbol of aspiration and hope, a beacon of change. His youthful dynamism and charismatic speeches inspired a nation and reshaped the very essence of American politics. The Kennedy era, though brief, was a time of monumental transformation, with a vibrant energy that echoed through the decades that followed. His influence didn't stop at the borders of the United States. JFK's foreign policies, particularly his handling of the Cuban Missile Crisis, showed the world a leader who could navigate the treacherous waters of Cold War politics with acumen and resolve. His commitment to peace was not just a promise, but an action, as he signed the Limited Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, arguably one of the most significant steps towards global nuclear disarmament. Now, let's not forget JFK's impact on his successors. From Reagan's shining city on a hill to Obama's "Yes, we can," echoes of Kennedy's rhetoric can be traced in the speeches of those who followed. It's almost like they're standing on the shoulders of a giant, albeit a giant who loved a good game of touch football. Kennedy's ideas continue to endure, perhaps because they were rooted in universal principles: equality, justice, and the pursuit of peace. His vision of a new frontier, a society where every citizen has the opportunity to fulfill their potential, remains an aspiration for many till this day. Of course, the fascination with JFK isn't just about his politics. The man was a style icon after all. If you've ever wondered why so many politicians sport that slicked-back hair look, well, you've got JFK to thank for that. JFK's life was short but impactful, leaving a legacy that continues to shape our world today. The enduring popularity of his ideas, the inspiration he provided to future leaders, the cultural shifts he instigated, all of these contribute to a legacy that's as vibrant and relevant as ever. From his famous words, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country," to his vision of peace and equality, JFK's influence resonates in the fabric of our society, reminding us of the power of aspiration and the potential for change.